just like I'm interested, I'm sure
Yeah.
there are other interested, well qualified candidates.
Yeah.
So I'm going to compete until I win or lose.
Yeah.
Then you start over. But in today's society,
we're not trying to compete.
People are not trying to compete. They're just like, I'm here.
Yeah.
I got everything. So you either gonna pick me or you not. And it's 7 billion people in the world.
Listen.
Maybe stand out.
Just said that same sentiment on Enjoy the Podcast. They were talking about, because the main guy, like him and his wife have a open marriage. I don't think they actually use it for that often, but the concept, the idea behind it is, I know I have to wake up and fight for her affection every day because she can have anybody that she wants. And the same, so I'm working out. I'm making sure that I'm paying attention. And I'm in tune with her needs, because I need to fight for her. And that is what keeps our relationship thriving, because none of us take each other for granted that you just gonna wake up and be here. I think that's dope. Yeah. I also think it's a whole lot of work. And as dope as I think it is, I think I'm here for it, but also, I don't know if I'm here for it.
I'm gonna say it.
It's a lot.
There's a period of time in my last relationship that I stopped competing. I had gotten comfortable, and it was like, compete for what?
I feel like that's what I'm supposed to get married for. I want to be comfortable.
No.
I want to fight more.
And as you see, like, I'm single.
Yeah. So am I.
It didn't work. You have to compete. And so it's just like, but I'm real big on transparency. And so if we're talking, I meet you, I don't really know what you got going on. You don't know what I got going on. So I'm going to be like, this is what it is. I'm dating. So, you know.
Oh, yeah. It ain't nothing until we say something. I am big on that, for sure.
So I'm establishing my area, my boundaries. Yeah. And so if that's not okay with you, that's fine. You can remove yourself from the equation. But, you know, that's
what it is.
Because you got to compete. You got to. These jobs are competing. The president, the president of the free world, he competes. Yeah. But we should just be picked. Yeah. It don't work like that.
But, you know, we're saying that, but we're also having to compete for others. You know, that same person that is competing for you, you're competing for them. Recognizing that the door swings both ways. Yeah. But it's a weird thing of having to reprioritize, like, people in your life in order to fit those boundaries. And I always find I don't want to do it, is what I don't want to. I just don't want to do it. But I don't know how to live life without doing it. And like you said, it can be very weird coming back, backtracking and being like, hey, I know I said that we couldn't be friends anymore, but he's gone. We're friends now. I don't know. Yeah. So how do you go about doing that? Like, because it is a necessary part. Like, it's how do you set it up beforehand to make sure it's not weird if that happens or when that happens.
So I've also been in a situation like that. When I got to college, I started this program called SSS, Student Support Services. So for 2 years, they kind of mentor you as you're transitioning into a college student. And so one of my friends I met, you know, SSS, you know how people like to be together. Anytime she got in a relationship, no one saw her.
Yeah.
Like, she fell off the face of the earth type energy. And after the first 2, like, I used to be bothered. I'm talking about, like, bro. Yeah. We literally took this class together so that we'd have, and now, like, you don't even come to class no more. Yeah. And then it just got to the point where once that happened, like, okay, I understand that's what you do. Yeah. So then I'm also gonna
for sure.
Step and move in this direction. Energy. But then whenever, relationship ended and you reached out, like, I was available because, like, I valued our friendship. Yeah. But I understood that this is what you're going to do. And I have to protect my energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but how do you set it up? Like, how should she? Do you think that the way that it happened, you just figured it out?
Right.
Is that how it should go? I guess
I don't think it should. That's why I didn't think that was the proper way to handle it, because, like I said, both of those relationships ended. You know what I'm saying? And so it was like, and not only did it ended to where, like, you know how women, they shave their heads, or, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, it was a thing.
So it's just like, bro. But I feel like if that's your pattern, and I say, hey, look, I'm single right now, but when I get in relationships, I tend to be all about my relationship, then that person has a choice what they're getting themselves into as your friend.
Yeah.
Do I progress? Because, like, there might be periods of time where, like, I just don't know if you're okay.
Yeah.
And they just have to wait and hope and see if somebody ran into you.
Yeah. I mean, I think that that's part of just the maturity that happens or needs to happen in friendships, like recognizing what your friends have going on, like, right. And not trying to, I hate to use the word burden, but understanding that they are not responsible for all of you, and that they are there when they can, where they can, how they can, and being okay with that. So a couple years back, and we never got to have this trip, but I had set up a girls trip with all of my close girlfriends. We were going to go to Canada, and the purpose of that was to, like, transition our relationships into adult friendships. Like, all right, we need to discuss how we are friends, because we grew up, we've been friends since, grade school, college, and we don't know. We have to recognize that there's been changes that have happened that we need to respond to, and not be upset or feeling some type of way, because life is happening to all of us. And so what happened was, we were on a trip, one of our girls' trips, and a couple of them were having issues that none of us knew about. Mm-hmm. And it was like, dang, if none of us can, like, be there for each other, or no, it just felt like, what are we even doing in these friendships? What's the purpose of these friendships? And it was because everybody felt like, oh, this person's too busy for me, or this person's too busy for me. And so it was kind of like, the truth be told, yeah, we do be busy. And that's why we have a whole circle of friends, and we need to be, because, you kind of click up sometimes, and you just talk to one, and it's like, no, because this one person might be busy that day. That doesn't mean we don't love you, but life is happening. So guess what? All of us are here. Whoever has the ability at the time, that's who's going to tap in. Don't feel no type of way because the other 7 didn't respond to your text. They busy. They love you, but they busy, and they have their own things going on. So it was kind of like this understanding or come to Jesus moment of, all right, we're all trying to be here for each other. We're going to do what we can. When we can.
I love that.
Sometimes we can't.
You guys wanted to have that conversation, because that's the first step in, really establishing clear boundaries, is communicating what I am able to partake in.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, because I tell people all the time, I feel like we forgot what text messaging was for, in the sense that I'm going to communicate I'm going to respond when I can.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we're so used to everything being so instant that you'll send a text message and you'll want that person to respond right then and there. But a text message really is, I'm going to get to when I can. And, like, that's the, that's a micro example to life. You know what I'm saying? Things happen. Just because I couldn't get to it when you thought I should doesn't mean that I didn't see it. I wasn't thinking about it. I'm not going to come back and respond. It's just life is going on. And so I have to be clear and let you know where I'm at and what I'm doing.
Yeah. That's interesting. I never thought about text messages. Like, we have become a different society, though. Now people just, they don't talk. So they only text and stuff like that. So then it becomes a different dynamic.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about like just how when my ex wanted me to, or felt some type of way about me having a guy friend, like the feeling of, you don't run me. I was wondering if, like, how you would have felt if your ex, well, I don't even know how your ex felt about.
She had a problem.
Okay.
She did.
So,
and it was a hard thing to work out. Because like I said, my friend had been there through like all the exes prior, you know? And when she was just like, you don't have to cut her off, but if they're going to be around, I'm not going to be around. And if you want me to be around in certain instances, certain areas, like we're going to go somewhere, then you can't invite that person. And so then it became
and that was after they already didn't have a good relationship, or was that in the beginning? Okay.
That was after.
Okay.
You know, and so like that was tough because it's like, if they set something up, for example, my birthday came across. And so my birthday was on this Sunday. And that Friday, my friends were like, we're going to take you out. Get dressed. And it was why didn't I get invited? Why wasn't I known to come? And it was like,
you said you did.
One, you don't want to be around. And two, like I didn't plan it. But then it's like you're always doing stuff with such and such.
Yeah. I don't think that relationship can work without.
No, it wasn't always issue.
Yeah.
Because then you have to, where times where it's like, it could be a group outing.
Yeah.
You have to pick. Is this going to be a couple's outing or a friend's outing? Yeah. So it was tough. Yeah. And in the beginning, I was like, bro, you're not going to tell me who could be my friend.
There's also the issue that I definitely experienced of, even if when you're okay with the friends, just the boundary of, all right, it's my turn. That type of thing of knowing the space that your friends can hold now in your, making space for your partner in your life and in your friendships, and having to, the worst thing is having to tell somebody, pick me, when you're supposed to be in a relationship with them. And I do know that people go overboard with that as well. So it's a very subjective type of problem. But like, how do you go about telling your person, yeah, your friends are great, that's good, but also me?
So looking at my own situations and the two that I've used as examples, I would say then it kind of, that's a tell sign of the conversation that you're having with your friend about your relationship. So in my situation with my friend, right, I used to only give the problems, the issues, the negatives.
Oh yeah.
So it was always like
they feel
do better.
Way. Yeah.
But even so on the reverse, like everyone has issues. Yeah. But I only hear about little things. But I hear such positives that I could see the direction the relationship was going. Yeah. So then it was easier to take a step back. Because like a real friend will see and be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I understand I want to, but like, I know you got a relationship that you're in. And so I can find someone else to go hang out with because you might already have plans. I might check, but I have to now be considerate of the fact that you have another situation that's in bloom.
But I don't think I don't think it should be the responsibility of the friend, for sure.
To consider it?
They can consider it,
but that's just it.
The reason I say it's not is because what I dealt with was, it wasn't like one specific friend that was taken all the time. Like, he diversified his time between all his friends.
Instead of.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by, in sense of, that depends on the conversations that it's being had about your relationship. Because if you're talking it up like this is the bee's knees, naturally they're going to ease you more into that direction because they want you to be happy. They want what's best for you. So
this is how it was. Because I was never the type. I will never stop you from doing what you want to do. I'm not going to force you to hang out with me. So I was, I guess, the cool partner that let him do whatever he wanted to do. But it would be like, so if he hangs with George on Monday and then Tuesday Paul comes around and Paul's like, oh yeah, sure, let's hang out. You want to hang out? He's like, yeah, cool. He's like, is Alexis okay? Yeah, she's fine with it. It's not like they don't ask, like they're not, but he's the one that's steering the ship saying, no, everything's cool or whatever the case may be. So in their mind, they have no idea that he been hanging out with every single other person every other day. They just know like
today
he wanted to hang out.
Yeah.
And I asked if she was cool. He said she was cool. That's it. What else is he supposed to do? So I think it's primarily on that person, on the response. It's the responsibility of the people in the relationship. Now, you don't want the friend that's like, man, she'll be all right. That's the friend that's problematic. But it doesn't mean that they're not looking out for you just because they're not they can only do so much. All they can do is ask, and that's it. But yeah, like trying to insert your way into that, and I think sometimes it's just a maturity level, but also a disposition. Like I used to blame it on the fact that my ex is very much an extrovert and kind of like needs that constant.
Were y'all living together at this time?
Yeah.
Well,
so I didn't also mind because he came home. It wasn't like that.
I had a situation like that, where I definitely was trying to be outside the house hanging out or entertaining on a regular. And my thinking at the time was just like, we're always together.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're always together.
Right.
And so it was just like, I want to still be able to do stuff.
Your own individual self.
Because we're always together. You know what I'm saying?
Just living together, did y'all do a whole bunch of other stuff outside of the house together too?
No, we did do a lot of stuff outside, but we both taught. So like once we got off of work, like we were trying to be in the house.
Okay.
So like we were literally always together.
Y'all didn't teach in the same school, did
No.
Okay.
And so it was just like, I'm going to go do stuff.
Yeah.
And then also, our issue, and also because like if I'm gonna talk about work and you're gonna talk about work, then I'm back at work because we both taught, and so I want to be able to not talk about kids, not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hear the word lesson plan.
Right.
So I was just like, out the house.
Yeah. So I understand that, and that's the thing. So I mean, it comes down to whether or not we were, compatible in that space. But I understood that, so I never wanted to get in the way of that. But it was always just, at what point do I advocate for my needs in the relationship of making sure like we do have time, but recognizing like especially for somebody that feels the need to kind of be out. I don't want to make you feel suffocated either, I
would just say, just like communicate that you want to be a part, because I didn't realize that until like after.
Yes.
I could have like brought her.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I was like, why didn't y'all just go out together?
I could have been like, come on.
Yeah. She probably felt in similar ways.
100%. Because we talked about it like, and then after, and it was like, I felt left out.
Yeah.
Like you were ready to run and go do stuff, but like I'm at the house. Like, dang, where you at?
Right. Like,
and so
I want to have fun too.
Yeah. I would just say that. Like, it does go back to maturity, because you just think, for example, we live together. So if I sit on the couch and you sit on the couch and we watch 4 episodes of an hour-long series, like, to me, we just spent quality time together.
Oh, you is not quality time.
We hung out. Like, no, that's not a thing.
No.
You have to schedule time to be like, this is specific to us
and be
doing
present.
Whatever. Yeah. And so, like, I didn't learn that until I was looking back, reflecting.
Yeah.
So that is also like a maturity thing.
Yeah.
But I would just say, like, communicate that. Say, hey.
It's hard when they don't understand. Like, there's no way she could have told you that and you would have understood at that time.
Well, if you would have said it like that to me, I would have. If you would have been like, that does not count. No, because eventually we had gone to counseling, and I had said didn't we just spent 4 hours together, and they were like, no.
What that did for my ex is make him feel like I still ain't get it right. You know that feeling.
Definitely. That's how it is. It's like, dang, like I thought I
spent 3 hours with you, and you mean to tell me that none of that counted?
No, don't count at all.
It did not.
Because you got to be like, it's Monday. Hey, on Thursday, you want to binge that show? It's more like
the worst feeling is spending that 3 hours not having any actual connection, and then as soon as can I go now?
Yeah.
Can I go?
So it's
I go?
Hey, that's what you really setting aside these 2 hours for us to watch a movie, and we can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like we just.
Yeah, it's the connection. It's the connection more so than just the body. Yeah. Any body could be there, but yeah, it's a hard thing to explain it and recognizing when the person just doesn't get it. Sometimes you just
I got
gotta
a question for you. So. You know how some people be like, they build these walls, and those people who really care about them will knock them down to like, you know, what is the difference between like closing yourself off to hard lines?
Closing yourself off.
So like my boundaries, instead of, you know, this is what happens, it makes it so like nobody can get in.
I think that I don't think that everybody has the ability to do it in the way that is like healthy, because it requires a level of vulnerability, making yourself susceptible to that hurt, while knowing that it's possible to be hurt. So to me, like for instance, I literally just told to do this. Like, I'm not willing to give my all in a relationship when I know that you're not capable of doing it in the season that you're in. But I'm here for the moment that you're open to that. So that's me saying I do want to do that, but I do know that right now it's not a good time for you. But saying I am completely open to that when you are ready. It's still going to be a risk because they probably aren't fully ready. But I'm learning the lesson, but I'm not closing myself off to the experience. But I think that's a very hard thing to do because the inclination is to be like, fuck this shit. Like I'm not gonna set myself up for failure. And sometimes you can go through the harder lesson of giving someone that chance right at that moment.
Yeah. I think this is what you said about it being healthy, because I think a lot of times, especially in today's society, when it comes, you know, being that we're out dating, a lot of times unhealthy boundaries are, in my opinion, those people who are really quick to, oh, you did this, so I'm automatically just going to cut you off.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, what? Because like we said at the beginning, I might do something out of habit because this is all I've ever known. Mm-hmm. But it's not a big deal to me. So then it just takes time to unlearn and relearn.
Yeah.
But if as soon as you see this or you hear that, you're ready to be like, I think that's one of the reasons why we have so many singles like today. Because people are so quick to, all right, I'm out.
My cutoff game is real strong, but I also be the one that be staying way past the time that I should, hence my marriage. But also, like a lot of these times, I just see, whoosh, all that shade.
For real, get you an umbrella,
right? But no, a lot of times because I'm very big on making sure that I have given every opportunity. Mm-hmm. Like the last thing I want to do is feel like I missed out because I cut it off too quickly or something. So I will make sure that I make it abundantly clear why I'm walking away before I walk away. I will say, all right, so what I'm getting from this is this. And because of that, I'm not okay in this. So let me know if I've gotten something wrong. But if not, that's cool. I get it. It's not for me. And sometimes I feel like it's overkill, but it's my commitment because I have a problem feeling like I didn't give someone the opportunity to do things the way I do that with jobs. I wanted to leave my previous job, but I was like, before I do, let me make sure that they understand what's bothering me and give them the opportunity to course correct before I just write them off. So that means I'm staying in something. Most of the time, it's just confirmed. Yeah, you're trash. But I need to make sure that you have the chance. No, you're trash. You're right. Sometimes it didn't work out. But I want to make sure that it's you saying this and not me interpreting or misinterpreting.
Right.
It. So
I don't see a problem with that. I'm very big on confirming. Yeah. But I also go into any situation open to the possibilities, because I feel like a lot of times what we do is, because we might be attracted to someone.
Oh yeah.
We're just ready to be like, oh, it's okay. We can be significant others.
Yeah.
But the truth is, like, after a few conversations, we probably could just be like, cool.
Barely.
No, I mean, I've met some really cool people that when we first interacted, it was like, oh, the potential possibility, but then it just turned into like cool conversation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's also because I'm just open. I've met some people that were really good friends I've went in thinking, oh, but no, like they held it down. But I've also met some people who it was like, oh, we should have stayed friends. Like we should have never, because now things are, you know what I'm saying?
Weird, awkward, or whatever.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I also feel like sometimes, you don't even need to. Sometimes you don't need to ask them questions.
No.
You know that
right off the bat,
it's just not it. Like, and that's okay too. And that same feeling that is in me that like I need to give everybody the chance to do things on their own. Like sometimes that's just pride. It's just a formality. Like my commitment to do things the right way is a waste of damn time. And I think the dating scene has really made me so much more comfortable with that, because people don't be caring about you. Like, no, and so
they really
stop
don't.
It. And what happens? Nothing. Like they have every right to not waste their time protecting my feelings or doing things the quote unquote right way. Like, for who am I doing this? For why? For what? Let it go.
Side rant. That really is the thing that sucks the most. It's like going into something and approaching it the right way and knowing that the others involved don't have no disregard for that. No regard at all. They just be like, I'm gonna take it, but then like, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's my little soapbox.
I think you definitely have to be is a certain type of person that can go through this, because it is terrible. But I'm here for it. You gotta be a little bit cold-blooded, to be able to get through it without giving up. And I meet many people, and many of my friends are just like, I need to take a break because of that reason, So I definitely get it. You have to be able to truly either disconnect or be heartless. I usually I fall in love, and then again, my cutoff game is strong, so then I jump right back out, and I'd be like, you'll get over it in a couple of days. And that's it. But yeah, recognizing that nobody owes anybody anything, and that especially in the dating game, the boundaries that you set, you have to determine what you're going to take, because like you said, I think it's the perfect environment to learn about boundaries.
Dating?
Yes, at least this online dating for sure, because nobody is responsible to whatever the fuck you think. Nobody has any
post-COVID dating.
No obligation to be a decent human being at all.
And I think that's what sucks the most, is that you find out how many not decent people there are, and you just be like, dang.
Yeah, the amount of times that you go and it's like, dang, they were here before. I'm like, I know there was somebody else here.
Wait, you were texting me
where
first.
In the world is Carmen Sandiego? Like, did I do something wrong? Like, you, self-esteem, boy. If you ain't got it, do not enter.
No. Because they'll have you thinking, it's all you. It's all you. It's all you.
I mean, but you just have to remember that anybody and everybody is qualified to online date. So you are going to come across anybody and everybody that is not qualified to be there for you or to be dating you. So,
and if you ain't got discernment, you better learn, because
boy, oh boy,
they'll scare you quick.
Yeah, I find it entertaining. It can be sad sometimes, but most of the time I find it kind of fun. Yeah, I think I'm just wired differently, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. All right, so what are your final thoughts on boundaries?
When establishing your boundaries, make I statements. If this is going to happen, I will not be present.
Yeah.
If you're going to continue to do this, then I have to X, Y, and Z, because we can't control what other people do. And so we have to know what our course of action is going to be if something happens that we're not game for.
Yeah.
And it's okay to give people a little grace. Don't just have your cutoff game so strong that any infraction is just...
Yeah, unless it needs to be. Then go. So yeah, even as you saying that, I'm opening it back up, but not really. Like being able to know what your boundaries are might take some time and some cultivation. Because I definitely think the boundaries that I've been setting recently only come from experiencing what happens when I didn't set those boundaries, and recognizing how much turmoil I go through when I don't have them. But it's very difficult still to set them, because it's like, but what if? Fuck that. It's still, and that's why I still make sure I do it in such a way that the other person is very aware of why I am stepping back, and I leave the door open. If for whatever reason you feel that you're able to rise to this occasion, or this is something that you can respect, then I would love to continue this relationship, family, friends, otherwise.
Right.
And that's my way of making myself feel like, all right, I didn't shut them, and I never come at them like sideways. Like, I get it. You weren't trying to harm me. You're not a bad person. But this is just something that it doesn't work for me. It throws me off of the best version of myself. And as much as I would love to continue this, I know that the person that it's going to make me become, and nobody wants that version of me. So, for my sake, I'm gonna have to step on back.
Establish this line.
And that seems to have worked, because it allows us to both still be on good terms and rekindle whatever morsel of the relationship is left at a later date, or not, and you're able to walk away with the fond memories, and that's kind of fun too.
Yeah, that's why I always try, even if it's not gonna work out. Yeah, try to leave them with a good impression. Yeah, because there are still nice people out there.
Yeah, unless they're just terrible, then don't just silently unmatched. And that works. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. As always, please like, share, subscribe, comment, engage, give us feedback. Let us know what you're liking, what works, what doesn't work, so that we can block you if we don't like what we hear. Anyways. So on all podcast platforms at Lex Talk, LEXTLK, and on social media at is_Alexis. That's ISS_Alexis. No E, no I, double S. All right, until next time. Bye.